Every heartbeat is a quiet miracle. Think about it, your heart beats over 100,000 times every single day without you ever asking it to. It pushes blood through 60,000 miles of vessels, nourishing every cell, every tissue, every organ. And yet, despite this incredible design, many of us are unknowingly sabotaging this vital system every day. The danger doesn't come from some rare genetic condition. It comes from the choices we make, the things we do wrong without realizing their impact. The heart is not just a pump. It's an intelligent organ that responds to everything you do, how you eat, how you move, how you handle stress, even how you sleep. When you do one of these things wrong, it sets off a cascade inside your body. Tiny blood vessels become inflamed, the lining of your arteries begins to stiffen, and over time, the system that was meant to sustain life becomes its own enemy. Most people believe heart problems appear suddenly: a heart attack, a cardiac arrest, a collapse out of nowhere. But the truth is, your heart gives you warnings long before that day ever comes. Shortness of breath climbing stairs, feeling unusually tired, a little flutter in your chest that you ignore, swelling in your ankles. These are whispers from your body asking you to listen before it shouts. And here's what most people get wrong. They treat the symptom, not the system. You can't just lower your cholesterol or blood pressure with a pill and call it a day. The real solution lies in restoring balance to your endothelium, that thin layer of cells lining your blood vessels. It controls blood flow, clotting, and inflammation. When you eat processed foods, smoke, stay sedentary, or live in constant stress, that endothelium becomes injured. And once it's damaged, your heart becomes vulnerable not just to disease, but to sudden failure. The good news is, your heart is incredibly forgiving. If you give it what it needs: oxygen, rich blood, healthy nutrients, and time to rest, it can repair itself in remarkable ways. Research shows that within just weeks of changing certain habits, the endothelium can start to recover. Blood flow improves, inflammation quiets down, and your heart regains its strength. But it all begins with awareness, understanding what you might be doing wrong, and choosing differently before your body forces you to. One of the most common and dangerous mistakes people make is ignoring the connection between what they eat and how their blood vessels behave. Every meal you eat either fuels healing or triggers harm. For example, when you eat foods rich in refined sugars or trans fats, your blood becomes sticky, your vessels tighten, and inflammation begins to rise. This doesn't just make you feel sluggish, it damages your vascular system in real time. Scientists have found that within hours of eating a high-sugar meal, your arteries become less flexible, reducing blood flow to your heart and brain. Now imagine repeating that process 3 times a day, every day, for years. That's what sets the stage for heart failure and stroke. But here's the hopeful part: certain foods can actually do the opposite. They can open your blood vessels, lower blood pressure naturally, and even help your body grow new capillaries. Foods like leafy greens, berries, pomegranates, tomatoes, olive oil, and dark chocolate, all rich in bioactive compounds, activate your body's own healing systems. They stimulate nitric oxide production, which relaxes arteries and allows blood to flow more freely. Another mistake people often make is underestimating the role of movement. We think exercise is only for losing weight or staying fit. But movement is a biological signal. Every time your muscles contract, they send chemical messages to your blood vessels, telling them to expand and grow stronger. This process, called angiogenesis, is one of the most powerful ways your body maintains cardiovascular health. Without movement, that system weakens, your vessels lose flexibility, your blood pressure rises, and the heart has to work harder just to do its job. And then there's stress, the silent accelerator of heart disease. Chronic stress floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline, which raise your blood pressure, speed your heart rate, and constrict your arteries. Over time, this creates the perfect storm for a cardiac event. You can't always eliminate stress, but you can control your response to it. Deep breathing, mindfulness, spending time in nature, these aren't luxuries, they're medicine for your vascular system. What's remarkable is how quickly the body responds when you make the right changes. In one study, people who began eating a plant-forward anti-inflammatory diet saw measurable improvements in blood flow within just 2 weeks. When they added consistent physical activity and sleep, their risk for heart disease dropped dramatically. So the difference between a heart that thrives and a heart that fails isn't luck or genetics. It's knowledge applied daily. Let's talk about sleep, something so simple, yet so often done wrong. When you don't sleep enough, your heart never gets to rest. Your blood pressure stays elevated, your blood vessels stay constricted, and your heart rate remains high. Research shows that people who consistently sleep less than 6 hours a night have a much higher risk of heart attack and stroke. During deep sleep, your body releases hormones that repair the lining of your arteries, balance your metabolism, and regulate your blood pressure. So when you skip sleep, you're skipping recovery, and hydration, another overlooked key. Blood is mostly water. When you're dehydrated, your blood thickens, forcing the heart to pump harder to push it through your vessels. Even mild dehydration can cause fatigue, irregular heartbeat, and dizziness. Your heart shouldn't have to struggle because of something as simple as not drinking enough water. But perhaps the most dangerous mistake of all is believing you're fine because you feel fine. Cardiovascular disease develops quietly. You can feel perfectly healthy even as plaque builds silently inside your arteries. That's why prevention isn't optional, it's essential. You don't wait until your car engine fails to change the oil. You maintain it regularly. The same logic applies to your heart. So what does doing it right look like? It looks like balance, eating foods that support your body's healing systems, staying active, managing stress, prioritizing sleep, and listening to what your body tells you. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency, small, deliberate changes that compound over time. Your heart doesn't need you to be perfect, it just needs you to care. It's been there since before you were born, beating faithfully, day and night, asking for nothing more than to be treated with respect. And if you give it that, if you stop doing the things that weaken it and start doing the things that strengthen it, your heart will reward you with years of life, energy, and clarity. Every decision you make, every bite you eat, every breath you take, every night you rest either protects that rhythm or endangers it. The choice is always yours, because doing it wrong can stop your heart, but doing it right can make it unstoppable.